Okay. I think we are live. It says we are live. We are live. And we've got a couple of people watching, unless they've disappeared already. We got Mr. French. And what's this all about? This is about a package that was sent to me by my co-host here, Malt Muser. I think that's what you go by these days.
That's the word these days.
I almost said rabbit in red. Sorry.
You're old school.
Yeah. And then the one named Nestor says, "Hey peeps." Hey Nestor, good to have you with us.
Nestor, yeah, how you doing?
And where does it say how many people are watching?
Should be
new live on your channel, opening something. Okay.
Looks like there's an upper left. Looks like there's 7 already.
7?
Yeah.
Okay. Now where do you see that? Oh, there it is. I see it now.
Yeah, it should be in the upper left. It takes a couple seconds to
top left screen. Yeah, it's just so small, and you see this eye with a 7 next to it. Okay, that's cool. All right. Well, let's go ahead. Yeah, this is about a package that was sent, started to be put together about a year ago by Eric here, and for one reason or another, he couldn't make it to a post office because of COVID and all kinds of other panicky things. And finally. Well, what was it, 6 weeks ago or so? He finally sent it.
Totally quick. And yeah, just to add on to that, well, first of all, it's great to hang out. It's been a couple of months since we did a live, and we usually do a couple a year, so it's great to hang out with you, especially on a day like this, because I was getting a little worried that package didn't arrive. But yeah, I mean, really, you had sent me a package with a bunch of great Canadian whiskeys in it. And we had talked. This was in early 2020 or mid 2020, and we had
most of those are gone. Most of those are gone. I don't have any anymore, except for maybe 1 or 2 little bottles. But I've got the new release that I'm going through right now.
Yeah, it's funny. So yeah, right. And so I was like, oh, quick, I got to get you a box of samples. I got a bunch of stuff to send you. We went through a list, and then the COVID thing happened, and where I live here in Philly, like I wasn't about to be. It's a very heavily metropolitan area. It was skittish about the post office situation. And so this kind of dragged out for a little bit. And then I revisited it towards the end of last year and noticed, a couple of things I had battled for you already had. So I actually replaced those. And so when you open that box up tonight, you're going to find a couple treats in there that maybe you weren't expecting. And it's my way of trying to, pay it forward, brother, as I did make you wait a little longer than I wanted on this, but I think you're going to be real happy with. I think there's got to be almost a dozen in there, so you should be happy.
Yeah, a dozen. I forget how many I sent you. There must have been about 9 or 10.
No, it was close. Yeah, definitely. So, I think
I know that 12 fits in a box about this size very nicely.
Yeah. Most definitely, man. And I think there's going to be some good ones in there for you. And I hope
we got Adam M is here too, saying hello, gentlemen. Hello, Adam. Nice to have you with us.
How you doing?
And here I go with my little knife.
And the unboxing begins.
And the other side. No, that side is stubborn. Of course, I'm doing it with my other hand.
In that 1 month top. Hey, Donner Pats.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm hoping none of these leaked on you, but yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff in there, brother.
Well, there's a nice bit of bubble wrap and foam peanuts. That's good. That's the same kind of stuff I use.
Yeah.
When I said I just recycle the peanuts and
do a sample of one of those peanuts if you want. I'm sure everybody won't mind. Just toss one in your mouth. Do a sample tasting of one of the peanuts too,
Okay, well, I got boxes full of this stuff.
Yeah, I bet.
Which is good. It's good for recycling.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Okay. Lecheg, Rioja cask, finish. You know what? I was just watching a video this afternoon of the Whiskey Friend. Or no, I don't think it was. No, it wasn't the Whiskey Friend.
Might have been me.
It was the Whiskey Dick.
Oh,
Whiskey Dictionary.
Yeah,
he did this one. because I don't think the whiskey friend would be able to say Rioja.
Well, yeah, that one is a UK release. I did just drop my review of it on Friday, but knowing how much you love Lachag, I had to get that in the bottle for you, man.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, now I don't have that. And these are Old Forester Prohibition style. I have heard of this, yes.
Yeah.
1920.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's part of their whiskey road series.
Good size samples too. Are they like 75 mils? Or?
They're all 2 ounce, so whatever that's equivalent of. I made sure I used the bigger bottles. So.
2 ounce. So yeah, that would be 50 mils at least. A little more than 50 mils. Yeah. Okay.
Definitely. Hey, Daniel, Don Holland. What's up, friends?
Oh, we got more. Donner Pass.
Mm-hmm.
And Daniel. Which Daniel would that be?
He's actually a good friend of my channel. I don't know if he's subbed to you or not, but I gave him the heads up because we were chatting earlier on Instagram about something. Okay. Let him know. So glad to have you in the house. He's all the way in East Texas. So.
And Don Holland is here too. Nice to see Don Holland joining us. I haven't heard from you in a while there, Don. It's good to see you. And what else have we got? This is Redbreast 21. Oh, you may have just saved me $300 right there.
I doubt it. I might have actually made you commit to spending $300 because after you taste that, you're going to be like, "Holy shit!"
I was about to, but I thought, no, someday I'll try it. Someday I'll get the nerve together, and here it is, right here.
Yeah, and your whiskey of the year last year was the 15, right?
15, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. I have not had that one yet. I really need to
Although if I'd had some Port Escague 12, but the bottle of Port Escague 12 was empty. But had I had some, that one might have been the winner, but I didn't have any to taste.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because I was trying the best ones from the year that I had left. And the Redbreast 15 was right up there.
Yeah, I remember your review of that.
Okay. Let us continue. Glenmorangie Tale of Cake. Yeah. Impossible to get here. Or it was possible, but you had to be the third or second or first in line at the premium spirits release.
So otherwise, funny story behind that one, brother. I caught your video when you were at the spirits release talking about how you didn't get the cake. And so I quickly, right before I left, I poured you one of those and made sure I got it in the box.
Fabulous. Okay. This is Balcones Brimstone, Texas Scrub Smoke Whiskey.
Yeah, that one.
You can't get this here. You can't get Balcones at all. I've only had one Texas whiskey, which was the Yellow Rose. It's what did it taste like? Minty. I think it was really minty.
That one is gonna be like nothing else you've ever had. It's maybe not a whole bottle worth purchase, but it is definitely worth trying. So I'll be eager to see your tasting on that one.
Okay. So far I don't have any of these.
Great.
This one is New Riff Bottle in Bond Bourbon Straight. Okay, that's another one you can't get here.
Great.
Cannot get it. Never seen it. Never heard of it around here. Seen it on people's videos on YouTube, but wow. Okay. Oh, so much of this stuff. I'm going to have to send samples to people soon.
There you go.
Get rid of all this.
Yeah, reduce, reuse, recycle, right?
Yeah. Okay. What is this one? Larceny Barrel Proof.
Oh, yeah.
A120, 61.6%. 68 corn, 20% wheat, and 12%, I'm assuming, malted barley. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the story behind that one. So you know how Elijah Craig does those 3 barrel proof releases every year?
Yes.
Last year, Heaven Hill started doing the same thing with Larceny, which is their more weeded bourbon. That's actually from the first batch they did.
Nice.
A120. So you'll enjoy that. I think it's an interesting.
And I really enjoyed the sample of the Elijah Craig barrel proof that I tried. It was a sample sent to me by. Do you remember Bubba and the Beard?
Yeah.
Anyway, the Beard sent me a sample of that. The bottle of Wow.
Well,
I think it was the same batch. I think it was the same batch that the Scotch Test Dummies went wow over. What is this? Talisker Darkstorm. Okay. I had a Talisker Storm, but what would be the difference between Storm and Darkstorm?
Yeah, the Darkstorm is a travel exclusive, but it's quite good. It is aged in deeply charred oak barrels. I think you being a fan of Talisker, you might enjoy that. I think it's a solid travel exclusive for sure. So I think you might like it.
Well, I don't travel much, and I don't see any travel exclusive liquor stores. So
yeah, I think you'll enjoy it.
If I get a travel exclusive, it's quite a fluke. And there was one that I did get some time ago. It was Port Charlotte 12.
Oh wow!
It was just really hot. It wasn't that good. It was just really hot, really hot. This looks like a repurposed. This is from me.
You might notice it.
This is repurposed.
It was so useful, Quig. I had to throw it back in the box.
You know what it's from?
Yeah, it's from the box of samples you sent me.
No, but
what it's literally from? No, I don't know.
Originally, it was the covering for the legs of my chair. When I bought the chair, the legs were wrapped in these foam pieces.
Nice.
So that went all the way to you and came back to me. Okay.
That's great.
So the Lefroy 16-year-old. Nice. First fill bourbon. Is that also a travel exclusive?
No, it was a Amazon. It was a UK Amazon release, 48%, and you just got to try it.
Amazon UK. Okay.
So,
Freud 25.
There you go.
You spoil me, Eric. 25-year-old sherry, ex-sherry and ex-bourbon, 48.9%. That's going to be nice too. Wow.
Should be.
So this is weeks and weeks of sample Sundays coming up here.
Good. I owed you. It took long enough to get this to you. So
wow.
I threw a couple treats in there for you, man. Like I said.
Wow. Okay, I think there's two more. This one here. So far, I haven't had any of these.
Great.
Elijah Craig barrel proof 12-year-old batch B520. So that would be what? B520 would mean the 5th month, or?
Yeah, that was the May 2020 release. I'll be honest with you, that was my number 2 whiskey of the year last year. I think that is the best batch of Elijah Craig barrel proof I've had in 3 years, and so I think you'll really enjoy that one.
Nice.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's an amazing pour. I think you'll really dig it.
And I believe we're down to the last one here. Yep.
I don't remember what I don't even remember what these are, half of these anymore.
Wow. This is gonna be. Now this one is wrapped real tight, so it must be a really special one.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that one is.
Okay. That thing was wrapped in such a way that it's like protected like the Mars lander, you know, the way the Mars lander would come down and bounce and roll, and then finally the thing would open up and there would be your Mars Explorer robot. Dickel bottle in bond, 13 years old.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one, and I figured I would throw it in there for a little diversity, but that was a Whiskey Advocates Whiskey of the Year in 2019, and so I'll be curious what you think about that one. I'm
not usually a fan of the Lincoln County process.
Right.
And you can take me through the whole Jack Daniels line but they keep telling me that the single barrel proof is supposed to be good.
It is, and so is the rye. The rye is really good. They have a single barrel rye that's really solid.
But both can't be had here. Okay, what's been going on here? Wait. I just let this thing get away from me. Daniel says Yellow Rose isn't that great. Yeah, I know. I did a video about it, and it's not. Samples so far, okay. Quig and Eric, cheers, okay. Yellow Rose, okay, we know about Mr. French. How are you, sir? Okay, fine, good. What did y'all do? Agree to send 20 samples? Blux is a clown car. Yeah, well, I got 12, and I believe I sent about 12 to the other direction.
Like that, man, for sure.
And mine was mostly focused on Canadian, and this is half bourbon and half scotch, I guess. So, yeah.
Something like that, right? And a Tennessee whiskey to boot. And a Texas whiskey.
And Texas, yeah, there's Texas in there too. And Don Holland says, I'm having my first dram in 2 long weeks. A bug got the best of me. 25-year Delord Armagnac. Wow.
Ooh. What's up, Don Holland? You know what's going on.
I don't know anything about Armagnac, except that it's supposed to get better with age.
So, in other words, like a good whiskey. Or a good wine, for that matter.
Okay. The samples don't stop. No, they're done now. And Don Holland's asking Nestor about drams, and I'm so far behind here as usual. I'm usually you sent him some hitters. You sure did. That's thank you once again. That's fantastic.
You bet, brother.
Don got me some Redbreast Lustau. I finished my Redbreast Lustau not too long ago, maybe a month ago. And
I have not had that one. I haven't had that one or the 15.
Okay.
I know you love the 15. I mean, obviously, I've seen the review.
I've got a bit of 15 left.
Oh, nice.
But I have to decide what to drink first, what to start with.
Oh, man. I'm about 7 ahead of you, so.
Oh, really?
Maybe not.
Well, all of these are going to go into my
Sample Sundays.
Sample Sundays. So we've got 3 months or almost of Sample Sundays here. So if someone else sends me some more samples, we'll have more samples.
Let's keep the Quig flush with samples, y'all.
Keep me in samples. That's going to be fabulous.
I'm going to be really curious to hear what you think about that Redbreast 21, obviously the Lafroig 25, and the Balcones Brimstone. That one's going to be really interesting. So I'm glad I think these are, like I said, it took me too damn long to get you these samples. Reciprocity is important, so a couple high end ones in there for you, man. I'm excited for you to try those.
It's like, what did I send you? Some 42-year-old Canadian?
Yeah, man, you did. You sent me the 41-year-old Canadian club. God, man, this was like 8 months ago. It's like, fuck. And so I'm glad I got to try to get you. I got you.
It was a while ago, right? So yeah, it may have been the 41. I don't have any more of that either, but I have some 42.
Yeah, that 41 was awesome, man.
You should check out some well-aged Armagnac at the LCBO. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have an LCBO here. I'll go take a look at Armagnac next time I go shopping. I went shopping last night and I picked up one of those whiskeys that I keep getting over and over again, the Wild Turkey 101.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and
I
bought another one, a bottom shelf scotch, a blended scotch, because I like to start my flights with low ABV. So if I get a 40% alcohol by volume scotch, and then I move up to a 43 and a 46, and then maybe a 52, and then go for something like 60% alcohol by volume at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, man. I'd love to hear what your starter scotch recommendations are. I got a couple in mind. I'm wondering if we have any overlap.
You mean of the ones that I...
Yeah, like the ones that you set your palate with. Those, the one you pour when you're just getting ready to get into things.
That's a good idea. I might do that right now.
All right.
But I don't always start with a scotch.
All right. Any whiskey in general. It don't matter. Bourbon, that's fine.
Uh-huh. Or Canadian.
I hear there's whiskey there.
Well, let's see. What have we got here on the bar?
Speaking of Canadian, I do have that Alberta Premium cask strength, but I don't know, man. 66%.
That's where you go. That's at the end.
Yeah. That's what I'm
thinking. That's the last one.
That is definitely
that's the last one, unless you got something really strong and peated.
I definitely do. I got some Octomore. I got some Greg Day. I don't know. Yeah,
I think I'm gonna start Irish.
Sexton. I don't know if I've had that one.
I like it. I only found it in one shop in town. That's the way things are in Victoria. You'll have only one shop that carries a certain whiskey, and you'll never find it anywhere else in town, but except at that one shop. This is 40% ABV. It's sherry NX bourbon, as far as I know, and it's great. Who else is here? Oh, Whiskey in the Six is joining us. Hey, boys. Hey, Whiskey in the Six. Hey, Rob.
Hey, what's up, man? Awesome pod. I've been tuning in. That's freaking amazing, dude. He did a podcast with Ralphie just the other day, and
I saw that. But I think I saw it pre-recorded. And then there was another one he did with that Whiskey Vault guy, but I haven't seen that yet.
I have not seen that one either. So you were just talking about starter whiskeys.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm a little ahead of you, but one of my favorites, which I've been kind of starting my nights with on basically all of my happy hours, Naked Grouse.
Oh yeah.
The Naked Grouse, man, that is seriously good. Not only is it one of the best bargain whiskeys I've seen, it punches above its weight for the price. First fill sherry, it's 43%. Is it 43% in Canada too?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's
But you know what? I found I had a bottle of that 2 or 3 years ago, and I found it was missing something.
Interesting.
For me, it was lacking. I thought, well, okay, I'd rather have a famous Grouse Smoky Black.
Oh, really? You'd rather go Smoky Black on it, huh?
Oh, yeah. More flavor.
You thought that had more flavor. Okay. I have not had a Smoky Black in a long time. So I don't quite remember, but
and Peter White's with us.
Yay, Peter White. What's up, brother? How are things in Ontario?
And Whiskey Ace.
I'm going to join you with an Irish. I'm going to do a Napo Castle. This is a
good one.
This is the 14-year-old Twinwood.
This is non-age stated, but it's got a nice balance. It's got lively sherry, lively fruit notes from the sherry. And I think there's ex-bourbon in there, and I think it's also malted and unmalted barley. I think it's a blend. Okay, if it's a blend, then it's a single malt.
Sexton.
It's a single malt. Flavorful single malt, intriguing complexity. Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
And this one tastes above its ABV.
I didn't send you any Irish samples in that package, did I?
Nope.
Oh no! I did.
The Redbreast 21.
The 21. Yeah. That's right. I wasn't sure if there was anything else in there. I forgot.
Redbreast.
Have you had anything from any of these Napogue Castle releases?
Yeah, I've had 2 or 3 of them.
I quite like them.
No, not that one. We want to go to this one, and I'll tell you which ones I've had as soon as I can find it. Go to my channel content and Knapogue. Huh. Knapogue Castle 12 single malt Irish whiskey. And it says that my description, another very nice surprise. So I must have liked it. I thought I had another couple of those, but I guess I didn't.
Yeah, this 14 that I have is interesting. They say it's a limited release. I don't know how limited it is. I see the 12 and I see the 16 a lot. And I ended up getting the 14 because it was actually on sale. I also have a 12-year-old, which is like a Barolo cask finish. Okay. I haven't actually opened that one yet, but I'll tell you, I've had the 12 and I've had this 14, and I'll tell you, I think both of these are great. Now, I know that I think they source their distillate. I don't think they actually do their own distilling. I think Napogue Castle kind of is one of those, it's like more of a bottler, not a distiller, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think, man, whatever they're doing, these are good. This 14 is awesome.
Another Irish brand that I like is Tyrconnell.
I have not dabbled in the Tyrconnells yet, but
you will not be disappointed.
It is on my radar. Yeah, you had like a Tyrconnell, like a 12-year-old or a 14-year-old at one point.
I think I still have some 16.
Let
me see. Yes. I do have a wee bit.
Wow.
This is
good. 16. That's a 16. Nice.
16 Tyrconnell. It is wonderful. And it's almost done too. I think I opened it when I was camping last summer, and now it's 6 months later, and it's almost done. That might be my next whiskey.
There you go, man.
And it's is it 46? I think it's 46%. Yes. Product of Ireland, Irish whiskey. Cooley Distillery. That is good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, they're from there. That's Cooley. Okay. Yeah, I gotta try that. I'll be honest, man. I've been really bullish on the Irish whiskeys so far this year. Every review I'm gonna do in March is gonna be in Irish. And it's St. Patty's Day, blah, blah, blah. So I got to tell you about this one, and this might have to be in the sample box that I send you next, but I haven't opened yet. This is
another sample box.
This is a Redbreast. It's called Small Batch.
Small Batch. Okay.
Exclusive U.S. release, cask strength. It's bottled at 58.7%. And they say there is no age statement on it. It's speculated that it's a 14-year-old. But it's a small batch Redbreast, ex-sherry, ex-bourbon, all of that. I'm going to do an uncorking video of this very, very soon. But if this is as good as I'm hoping it is, I'll make sure to send you one of these because I think this one is only available in the States. And I've never had a Redbreast that was bad, let alone disappointing. Even the 12, which is 40% ABV. It's still great.
Even that's good. Yeah. That's the first one I ever tried. Yeah. And I thought, hey, this is quite nice for a 40%er. Yeah. And then somehow the the cask strength version became available.
Yeah.
And I think that was part of the premium release, 3 or 4 years ago. And I ended up buying a bottle of it and liking it. It disappeared too fast. It was just gone, gone.
Yeah. The 12 cask strength, still probably one of my favorite whiskeys ever. That was my whiskey of the year in 2018. It was the first whiskey of the year I did on my little live stream here. So yeah, a huge fan of that. That unmalted barley note in those redbreasts is just incredible.
I'm also looking.
Why you got me excited about the 15? I got to try that 15.
Oh yeah, the 15. It's
Black Forest Cake, I think is what you were calling it.
Yeah. Other things I like to start off with. Oh, and I might as well pull this out too. Yeah. Just things that I like to start with. $50 bottle of Potter's, which is just a Canadian blend. It's a low bottom shelfer, but pretty good. I like it anyway. These ones, the NHL hockey alumni from Wiser's. This one, 40%. The ones at 40% are great for starting. Look at that. I've almost done it. Here's one of those.
Reviews of those. I've seen some of your videos on this. Wayne Gretzky,
yeah.
Mark Messier, all that.
Yeah, Daryl Sittler.
Yep.
Yvan Cournoyer. This one here.
Oh, the Copper Pot 40 Creek. Okay. I've actually seen some 40 Creek in the U.S., but not the Copper Pot.
The Copper Pot is still the best one. I just opened up one of them last night. It's called Resolve. Here. Comes in a tall, fancy bottle. And I just tried that for the first time last night. Okay, some of it went into infinity bottles, so that's why it's down a little. But you know what? This is like $100. This is like $32, and I prefer the $32 bottle to the $100 bottle. This tastes like corn syrup that you put on your waffles.
Oh no. That'll happen, man.
Yeah. I don't know if it will get better with time, but to me, it's.
I hope so. If it was $100, I mean, is that when what's the difference? ABV, age statement, or?
The ABV here is 43. Yeah, 43, and this one I think is also 43. Their barrel select is only 40, but the Copper Pot is so much better than the barrel select. Black on gold. I hate the color schemes these people use for their labels sometimes. 43, yeah.
No.
But I prefer this one, and that's one of those that I'll buy over and over again just for that reason, because it's good. And it's also one that you can start a flight with as well. At 43, it's not too overpowering.
Sure.
Keon and Clark are the best alumni, says Peter White. The Keon's good. I think I still have some, but I have not had any Clark. I couldn't find Clark. There were 9 of these releases from Wiser's, the alumni series, but I only got to find 6 of them. So, and I looked, and Copper Pot is a butterscotch bomb. Yeah, it's fantastic. I love this stuff. I'm crazy for that.
Yeah, I've seen some 40 Creek here. I don't think it was the Copper Pot.
No, it's probably the Barrel Select. That's their main one. That's the one that they would probably export because they make more of it than anything else they make.
Sure. And are they? They're not Alberta, right? They're like
they're Ontario.
It's the Barrel Select. Yeah, about $30, $40.
Yeah. And Barrel Select here costs $30 with the taxes and all.
Gotcha.
And this one is like $1 more or something. It's not bad at all. Clark was the 11-year rye. Yeah, I haven't been able to get that one. I haven't seen it. And I guess all the alumni are done by now. They're probably
Yeah, how many of those hockey related releases did they do?
9, I think.
Oh wow, shit. Okay.
And I'm not
reasonable price, like same price, or
like $41.
Mm.
And they range in ABV from 40, like 3 or 4 of them that I've had are 40. There was a 47. I think there was a 45 as well. So they range in ABV. Got Barrel Select in Illinois for $20. Yeah.
Well, there you go. What's up, Chris? How you doing?
The Keon did not float my boat, but loved the Clark. 11-year, 4.16. I wish I had more backups. Oh, okay. Yeah. Coffee was 48, I think. Yeah, I think I still have some of that too.
Yeah, I've never seen any of those releases in the States. I mean, it probably makes sense, but none of those the hockey releases. I don't think I've even the Gretzky. I mean, like, come on, I haven't seen any of those.
There was no Gretzky. This is
I thought
7
there was. Didn't you do a review of a Gret? Oh, maybe it was from a different.
It was Wayne Gretzky's own whiskey. It wasn't.
Of course, it's
Weiser's alumni. Yeah, this is 48%. Yeah.
Got it. Well, those Weisers that you sent me were really remarkable. I think you sent me the 23, and then the there was another one in there that was just freaking fantastic.
Oh, okay.
Look at the big wall, man.
Out of order here.
It's amazing. Dude, the wall is looking amazing, Quig.
Yeah. The wall is the wall is perfectly wedged between the floor and ceiling. It's not going anywhere.
It's awesome.
There was one point where it started leaning over.
Yeah, I remember seeing it leaning a little bit. Are you gonna, like, what are you gonna do with when you get more stuff? Are you going to the side or what?
It's almost as far as I can go now. It's almost to my desk in the kitchen. And I'm probably going to do a second row. So it's going to be too thick.
Yeah, man.
We'll see.
Or like just kind of make it wrap around the door or something.
Yeah. 23 is, the 23 needs water. Exactly. I haven't opened the 22-year-old yet. The Weiser's 22-year-old. And that's like at 66% or something ridiculous like that. But the 23 needs water. You can't drink it straight. It's just too hot.
I've, since the last time we talked,
mm-hmm.
I've seen some JP Weisers here, but again, I don't think that they're the good ones. Like there was I want to say it was like a Weiser's 15. Let me actually take a look. There's a couple different ones here, but they seem like, I don't know. I don't know if they would bring much fanfare, is what I'm saying.
Do they come in a square bottle?
Yes.
If it's a 15, it's good. The 15 is good.
Interesting. Oh, there's one called the Legacy.
You can get Legacy still?
Yeah, there's definitely Legacy.
Oh, that's good stuff.
And they have it at a bunch of places in Washington State.
It's been discontinued. You can't get it here anymore.
Interesting. And then there's a 15.
And the 15 is good too. But the Legacy is basically if you take two parts Weiser's 18 and one part lot 40, And we're talking just regular lot 40. That's the Legacy. It's very nice.
Oh, okay.
And that's
yeah. I'd like to get my hands on some of the ones that you sent me, because what you sent me a 23, I think that was just off the wall good.
Yeah, you can't get that anymore though.
Oh, they discontinued that one or what?
Release in 2019.
Interesting.
It's not available on shelves anymore, and I don't think the 22 is available because that stuff sells out as soon as it's available. It sells out. And we have this premium spirits release once every year in November, and that's where you get these special bottles.
What did you all get at your premium spirits release?
Huh?
I said, I know that you picked up a bunch of stuff at it. What did you all pick up at the premium spirits release?
This year?
Yeah.
Or in November?
Or in November, yeah.
It would be a bit too much of a labor to grab all the bottles, but I do have my bill of sale right here.
There you go. So it looks like you made out pretty well. I know you didn't get the tail of cake, so you got that sample from me.
But here's what I did get. I got the Lefroy Carchis port and wine.
Oh, there you go.
That was beautiful. That's beautiful. I tried it last night, and the video should be coming up in a couple of weeks.
Excellent.
And Ardbeg Black. The video will be coming up a week from now. Caribou Cross single barrel. That's really good, even though it's 40% alcohol by volume. Canadian blend whiskey. It's really good. I got a Bladnock 10-year-old.
Oh, really? I can't find that anywhere in the States right now. I've had a bitch of the time finding that.
Yeah, no, it was right there. Premium spirits release, Bladnock. Was it? 10-year-old, I think. And Stranahan's sherry cask. I also had that last night.
Okay.
I had that last night, and it was marvelous. I'm going through these right now in my videos.
Oh, fantastic! Subscribe, y'all, if you haven't.
The Boutique Whiskey Company, World Whiskey.
Oh, like one of the World Whiskey blends. Nice. Boutique is good, man. They make good stuff. It's
know what?
Not always cheap, but they make good stuff.
I found it quite disappointing.
Oh, really? Bummer.
Really bland, unless it's got to open up. But it's very nothing. It's like, It's like really bland. There's not much going on there.
I have a couple from them. I have a Port Charlotte 14. I have a. It's called Three Ships. It's a South African whiskey from them. I really like, but again, like they're so damn expensive, and you only get the half bottles. They're only 375 ml.
Oh no, we got the whole bottle.
Oh, you got a full bottle. Wow. I got a full bottle from them. And
what did it cost me? It cost me $72 plus tax. So $81 or so.
Damn. Okay. I'm sorry that wasn't good, because that's a great price.
No, it really was not all that good. 40 Creek Resolve, I showed you that one already. That's this fancy tall bottle here.
Yep.
It didn't come with a box this year or in November. Usually they come in a box. What else do we got here? JP Weiser's 22-year-old. That's going to be like the 23, but I believe it's finished in sherry. So that'll be interesting. I haven't opened it yet. The Shelter Point single malt.
Man, you got so many good Shelter Points. I remember it must have been 3 years ago when you sent me one of the first samples, or the first time I ever had Shelter Point. It was like the organic cast strength or something. Man, they seem like they've been putting out tons of stuff since then, man. That's awesome. I've been following.
Right now I've got like 11 bottles open.
Nice.
11 different bottles of Shelter Point, and I have another 3 or 4 to go that are still sealed. Lot 40, Dark Oak. Canadian. So this one is, I think it's a charred barrel or something, and I think there might be some some sherry or port in there or something. So that's their annual release. That's not the regular Lot 40. And there's a Great Plains 18-year-old ex-bourbon.
Is that a Canadian too? Great Plains?
Yeah. Great Plains, and it's at cask strength. It's like 62% or something ridiculous. I could go over there and check the bottle, but I'm a bit lazy at the moment. Then Canadian Club 43-year-old.
Jeez, you got the 43.
That one breaks the bank.
I bet.
And that's the kind of thing you'll buy one bottle of that at that price a year. At least I don't.
And you feel like they're worth it. I mean, I remember when you sent me that sample of the Canadian Club 41. I mean, that was quite good.
Yeah.
But I mean, what were the prices on those? I don't remember what you said they were.
Well, the 43-year-old, just so you know, $289.99 plus tax. So add another 15%. So we're talking another $45 on top of that. So $230 something, or 330 something.
That's a great. I mean, for that age, though, I mean, geez, like I don't know what. I mean, you think about single malt scotches that are like, God, I mean, there are 20-year-olds that are that price, Yeah.
And that's why I don't often buy 20-year-old scotch. 18 is the cap for me.
Right.
18 I can afford. They're usually up to about 200, 250 at the most. Unless it's Macallan. I don't know how much that is, and I wouldn't spend the money. And then I got 2 Brewers Yukon single malt. So that'll be interesting as well. Yeah, I think I spent something like $1,800 in one-stop shopping. So
sure,
I'm still paying for it.
I mean, that sounds like a hell of a list, though, man. I mean, you came out pretty well. Was there anything there that you didn't get your hands on that you wanted?
Well, I wanted to get the Glenmorangie cake, which I couldn't get because the people in front of me got it. They only had like one case, and the first few people got it.
Well, now you got a sample of it, so you can at least try it.
Yeah, that's going to be maybe the first of my sample Sundays coming up. Oh, in 2 or 3 weeks, because I've got videos already set to go live or set to go public, and they're uploaded to YouTube already for the next 2 weeks. So any video you see, I shot it 2 weeks earlier on a Friday.
Be on the lookout, y'all. His Taylor cake tasting will be coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah, 2-3 weeks, something like that.
Good deal, man.
Sometime in March.
I'm going to be eager to hear what you have to say. I don't want to, say too much, but I did post a review. I did a review of it on my channel, a few weeks back, and I'll just be interested to hear what you said.
I believe I've seen your video, but I forget what you said because I watch so many people tasting whiskey that after a while it all sounds the same.
Yeah.
And after a while, and you'll agree with some people and disagree with others, and it's funny, you'll find yourself agreeing with different people and disagreeing with the same people about another whiskey.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and that's part of what makes it so fun,
them on that same whiskey, but somebody else will not. It's really strange.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I'm a Glenmorangie fan. That's not a sentence that a lot of people say in the Scotch world. Now that they're against Glenmorangie, it's like Glenmorangie is always just like a second thought,
Mm-hmm.
I really like their stuff. I think they do great finishes, and they do finishes the right way. That all said, The Tale of Cake was released with a lot of pomp and circumstance, but there was another release that came out from Glenmorangie in late 2020, which I think, especially for people in the U.S., because I'm afraid it might only be available in the U.S., is much more worth attention. And that is the 12-year. They started doing what's called a barrel. It's like a barrel select series. And the first release was a 12-year-old Malaga cask.
Oh, right.
Yeah. 8 years in bourbon, 4 years in first fill Malaga cask. But then this is where I think it's puts it over the edge for Glenmorangie. 47.3% ABV, non-chill filtered, which is not always something you see out of Glenmorangie. That high of an ABV, the age statement, and it is a killer whiskey. Rumor has it that it's only available at Total Wine in the U.S. I have seen it on some secondary things. I think it's $100. Like, I bought it for $85 when I was in Los Angeles, but I've seen it still on the shelves, and I've seen it at places that are not Total Wine for $100. I think it's worth $100. It's probably the best Glenmorangie I've had.
Well, I have had something with the Malaga cask. That would have been the Yellow Spot Irish whiskey, which I really like.
I think it's the best thing that they've put out.
And as far as Glenmorangie goes, I really like the Nectar d'Or. There's something about that Sauternes that really does it for me. And also the port finish, the Quinta Reuben, those were good too. And I still have some of those.
Yeah, they're great at that. The Nectar d'Or I've not actually had. And the reason is I've held off because I know it used to be a 12-year-old and now it's an NAS. Okay. And I don't know if there's a huge difference that people have noticed between the two. But I see the prices are around the US. It's like sometimes it's $80, sometimes it's $65. And I'm like, I don't know. Should I pay the $80 for the 12 or the $65 for the NAS? And the 12 is increasingly harder to find. Do you remember which one you had? Was it the age stated one or the non-age stated?
It was before the NAS came out.
Okay. Yeah.
It was always age stated. And but I did the Quinta Reuben 12 and 14 side by side. And there's not much difference between the two.
Well, that's good to know. I need to get it. I mean, like I said, I'm a Glenmorangie fan. I really enjoy Glenmorangie stuff. And the Malaga cask last year blew my fucking mind. And it just made me think about how, God damn, if Glenmorangie would just release more things at 46% or higher. And man, it ticked all the boxes. I'm gonna, there are those whiskeys, and I wonder if you have this, Quig. This is a good question.
Okay.
If there are those whiskeys that they're always on your list, and then you go to the store and you see them, but you end up always bypassing them for other things, and they remain on your list for a really long time. I don't know if you have the same issue, but I do.
There are those.
The Glenmorangie Nectar d'Or is one of those for me. Another one, which was for a long time on that list, was the Balvenie 15 single cask sherry, which I finally bought.
Okay.
But I got a couple like that. And so, yeah, I'd be curious if you have whiskeys like that where you're they're always I need to get this, but then you go there and you get more excited by something else. And then, fast forward, you didn't buy it again.
That happens too, but I like to go through different ranges. So you'll have, for example, Jura. I wanted to try every Jura there was, or every one that I could find. And so I did. And there's only one that I like. But I would go through a certain stuff from a distillery. And then now that in the last couple of years, there were a lot of distilleries that changed their packaging, or they went from vintages to age statement, like Belle Blair, for example.
Yeah, yeah.
And I wasn't into them so much when they were vintages. But when they started putting out the age statements, I said, okay, I'm going to try the line. So I tried, there was Old Pulteney, and there was Belle Blair, and there was Glengarry, and there was Redbreast, and different whiskeys, and of course there's Shelter Point. So I find myself trying everything that I can get, and if there's a whiskey that I'm not such a big fan of, if I try one of their whiskeys and I don't like it so much, I'll be kind of hesitant to try anything else from that distillery. For example, Annock. I tried the Annock. I think it was 12-year-old 6 years ago, and I haven't got another Annock.
I totally resonate with that. So first of all, about Annock. Annock 24 was my whiskey of the year last year. I got the next sample set I give you, I'm sending you Annock 24 because it's flipping amazing. That's 12. It's light years better.
Okay, some Turgotte 16.
I was super turned off by Aberlour. I bought a bottle of the Aberlour 16. It was like a $90 USD bottle. This was 4 years ago. And it's 40%. It's chill filtered, colored to death. It was one of the most flat, boring, uninspired, light whiskeys I had ever had. And I was like, fuck Aberlour. I will not touch Aberlour again.
I think I had a 10-year-old Aberlour. And I also had the Abunad.
Yeah, and that was it for me. Like the 16 was it. I was like, screw this distillery. I'm not going to mess with them again. About 3 months ago, I stumbled into a store, and I was out hunting, and they had a bunch of the newer, the Aberlour. They've done a makeover of their presentation, and I saw a bunch of the Abunad, and they were like $90, and I was like, I've heard the newer batches are not that great. And then in the back, behind them all, was a bottle of Abunad Batch 60 that had no tube, bunch of dust on it, just sitting in the back. Same price. And I was like, Googling. I'm like, what do people think about the batches? And they're like, oh, yeah, 60 is amazing. So I was like, all right. This is the time. I'm going to do it. I'm going back into Aberlour. So I bought the Abunad 60, and now I get it. I get it. They're everything else in their range is probably total crap, but the Abunad is a lot of fun. And
what about this one, the Lagavulin 12. Now, I had Lagavulin 16 way back when. Been a long time since I've had Lagavulin 16. And it's been I had the 8-year-old as well when it was a 200th anniversary edition. And then I found the 12. I had a bottle of 12 from 2015. And it was amazing. It was the most amazing whiskey I'd ever had. Then when I was in Scotland, I picked up a 17-year-old. Not the same. One from 2017. Another Lagavulin 12 from 2017. Yeah. Not the same at all. Nowhere near as good as the 15. Then I said, okay, I'm going to try the 16. And I was going past it a few times and going, I'm going to get that, but it's expensive. I'm going to get that, but it's expensive. Then one day there was a bottle of Lagavulin 12 from 2014.
Oh!
And as soon as I saw that, I grabbed it. And maybe a month later, I came back, and that was the only one of the 2014. I grabbed it. Then there was a 2016. I grabbed that too. But of the 4 years that I have had, 2014, 15, 16, 17, the 14 was the best for me. 15 was a close second. 16 was third, and 17, the one from 2017 did not float my boat at all. Not like the 15 or the 14.
Wow.
I did a big,
man.
long video about that here on YouTube. I think it goes for 45 minutes. Which one is the best? And I just tried them all side by side, compared, and I'm reluctant to buy any later ones if I find them.
Yeah, I have. It's funny you mentioned that. I have a bottle of the 18, the 19, and the 20. So I have those later ones, and maybe I can just send you samples of them. I have had an earlier bottling of, I think it was 2015, and yeah, I don't know. It's tough to say. I still like the problem with the Lagavulin 12 now, at least here in the States. When it was like $110, the batch variation didn't bother me so much. Here in the States now, it's like $150, $160 a bottle. And
we're talking over 200 here.
Yeah. It's just, yeah. You might as well just splurge on a more vintage bottling at that point.
I'm gonna go get a refill of my water.
Do that.
And I'll be right back.
Yeah, I will catch up on the chat and see what's going on with folks. What's up?
They've been talking quite a bit.
You know how quick it is. DJ Juan says, I have no problem saying Glenmorangie is one of my favorite distilleries. So much good stuff. I don't disagree with you. I'm a fan. Daniel says 12 Nectador was one of my favorite. I spent over 50 at the time. Peter White, my first bottle of single malt was Glenmorangie 10. Yeah. Bought an 18 years later, unfortunately, will not buy another. I still like the Glenmorangie 18. If it's at the right price, at $100, $110 US, I'm game. Not much more than that, though. Peter White said, yeah, well, Peter, you have that Enoch vintage that we all know, the 1975. Yeah. On my happy hour show, Peter has brought up his Enoch vintage 1975. And it's funny you mentioned that, Peter, because I actually saw that online for sale, but it was, like $800, so I didn't buy it. Yeah, I would love to try that at some point. And yeah, I agree. Totally. I have not had the Alta DJ11. I've had the Malaga cask. I think the Malaga cask is awesome. The Cadbull Estate, I'm not sure I would say is amazing. I thought the Cadbull Estate was kind of,
I agree with you there, Eric. I found the Cadbull Estate to be kind of disappointing.
It just, it was like, hey, do you like Glenmorangie 10? This is what Glenmorangie 10 would taste like at cask strength. It's like, oh, better, but not that interesting.
There you go.
I think Glenmorangie's, yeah. So it wasn't a bad whiskey. I just don't think I would buy it again. Anyway, Quig,
Yes.
we're talking about Lagavulin. So I've gotten a couple Lagavulins since we last talked. I have some of their Jazz Fest releases.
Oh, no kidding.
I got a 2018 and a 2017 Jazz Fest, which I'm going to have to send you because I think you'll really enjoy these. And I also got a distillery release from 2017, which is probably amazing. I haven't opened it yet. But you're not the only person who has said that it seems like the 12s are getting less and less, quote, good. Now, Ralphie did a review of the 2019 Lagavulin 12 and was saying it was the best one he'd had in a decade. I don't know if I agree with him, but he was definitely singing its recommendations. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things. It's just that the price is going up so much.
Well, I have a bunch of Canadian things that I can send you, especially from the Premium Spirits release.
Yes, please do.
And some Shelter Points as well. Some of them are really excellent.
I'm always interested in the Shelter Points.
And the Redbreast 15. I can do that as well if I still have some left.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't killed that bottle, brother. Given
Well, don't forget that I've got 90 other bottles open, and I got 15 Infinity bottles.
15?
Yes.
Damn. Are you drinking them or are you just adding to them?
Well, most of them are full.
Oh,
So
are
if
they?
I, so if I add something to them, I have to drink something from them. So they're always changing. Like for example, last night I did Lefroy Carchis, but there was some room in the Isla, the two Isla Infinities, because I was drinking from them already because they're so good. And if I want to put a Speyside, if I want to add a Speyside, I got to take a dram from the Speyside Infinity bottle in order to fit that other dram in. So that's where it's going. They're kind of like a Solera, constantly evolving experiment, or a bunch of experiments.
First in, first out.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
and when I have so many bottles, one bottle can sit there for a long time before I finish it.
Yeah. How? What is your? Yeah. I mean, the fact that you mentioned that reminded me. Like, you usually follow the. You kind of got the schedule. You buy it, and then it falls into the queue, and then you go in a progression, no matter what. How far back are you from what you've purchased versus what you have done reviews of?
Well, right now I'm going through the premium spirits release from November, and I bought,
Yeah, right. We saw the receipt. Yeah.
I bought a lot of whiskey, and
Yeah.
I'm going through those. I should be through those in a couple more weeks. But right now the videos are starting to go up from those.
Sure.
And then I've got a few. I got some bottles from the last since November. So November, December, January, February. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I don't think I have enough bottles to last me 4 months. So these samples are going to help a lot.
That's awesome, dude. I'm glad that those are going to work out. And again, I had the world been a different place, I would have got them to you much sooner, but so it goes. I am going to go fill up my water bottle and pour me a glass of Springbank local barley.
Here's another controversial little comment. Peter White says to Daniel, 18 rules them all, Glendronach 18. Well,
Allardyce? Yeah, I'm not going to disagree.
Well, I'm not.
You're kind of bullish on the Allardyce. You're not
I'm not too crazy about it. No.
Yeah, you're the opposite. You're a bear on the Allardyce.
Yeah, I wasn't too crazy about it. Everybody was singing its praises and saying it's great and fantastic and terrific, and I'm going, meh. It's just a lot of sherry.
That's true.
But that's my take on it.
Yeah. All right, quick. I'll be right back. I'll let you catch up with the chat.
Yeah, sherry is one of those things that is not. It has to be just right. It has to be just the right sherry for me. Too much, and it's too much. And Don Holland says, Quig, my infinity bottle is Weiser's 23 lot 40, 12-year cast strength. Oh, that is quite an infinity bottle. A blend of those two. Yeah, my Canadian infinity bottle has those in them, but a lot of other things as well. And DJ11 says Allardyce is the best. Well, yeah, you may think so, but every one of us is different. To me, it just didn't do it for me. I bought it and I tried it, and it didn't do it for me on the neck pour, and I waited, and 2 or 3 months later, I came back to it, and it was down about, 1/3 of the way down, and still, everyone's different. We've all got different palates and different preferences. And Peter White says, although Longrow 18 may be better. Okay. Demon Hunter, it was mostly into bourbon before then. Bought Glenmorangie 10 and Nectar the same day. Oh, yeah, Nectar beats the 10 anytime. Yeah, but you didn't like the Cadbull either. Yeah, of course. There you are. Your palate is broken. too much peat. I'm not drinking peat right now. I blended it 2 parts lot 40, 3 parts 23-year-old. Wow, that must be nice. That must be real nice, Don. Huh. And Chris Wren, howdy. Oh, Chris Wren's here too. What do you know? Where is he exactly? I haven't been looking at this at all.
I'm back.
DJ11, Daniel's asking DJ if he likes Pete. At Don Holland, how did it turn out? Says Peter White. That must be interesting.
Oh, which whiskey are they talking about?
A blend of 23-year-old Wisers and lot 40.
Oh, wow.
So 2 parts lot 40 and 3 parts 23-year-old JP Wisers.
That's an interesting blend.
Speaking about liking Pete or not liking Pete, it's a really funny thing. We have this one guy, I don't know if you know him, Whiskey Jason. He's this American who lives in Germany.
Yeah.
and he, no, Pete, no, Pete, no, Pete.
Yeah, he's not a starter.
Now he's starting to get into Pete.
That's interesting.
He's getting converted. and I was completely the same way about anything containing sherry.
Yeah.
I was it had to be peated or ex-bourbon until I tried Glenfarclas 15. Then I'm going, hey, wait a minute. Maybe there is something to this sherry stuff that is all right. But it depends on the sherry. It depends on the distillate. It depends. Some of them I like. Some of them I don't. He's got one. There you go.
I got one. I bought it. I mean, honestly, because I had heard this story from you before, and I found it online. I mean, I don't understand why this is not more available in North America. It's a 46% Glenfarclas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that alone was like, ding. Finally, because the 25-year-old is still 43%, and honestly,
yeah, Glenfarclas 17 is 43% as well.
Yeah,
and Glenfarclas 12 is 40%, and so it's the 8-year-old Glenfarclas, which I have.
Yeah, this 15 needs to be on the market, man. I don't get it. Why don't they buy it?
It's hard to find here too. It's available, but it's hard. It's been getting harder to find as time goes on.
No kidding.
But you can get it here. You just have to hunt around for it a lot.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, you never see this in the United States. Like, you have to go online and get it shipped overseas. And I found it at a place where I was buying some other stuff, and they had it on sale, and it was like, I mean, conversion wise, I don't know, 65 American dollars. I was like, yep, now is the day. This is the day I buy the Glenfarclas 15.
And it was going for around 100 here, 100 Canadian.
Oh, wow. Jeez, that's
plus
amazing.
Taxes. But
that whiskey,
don't forget, 100 for me is like 75 for you.
Right. And I think that, like, honestly, that's better than the Glenfarclas 25. I think
it's the best I've had. Yeah. Well, with the possible exception of the 105.
Yeah. I think, like, that would be a fun blind tasting to do. I mean, I think you would notice it, but
you would notice it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I would still go with the 15. I think the 15 is probably the best, other than the, I know they got all those family cask stuff, which I'll never be able to afford to try. But I mean, I think the Glenfarclas 15 is perfect. And what's really weird about it, Quig, is that, like, there's a lot of whiskeys in the UK market which they lower the ABV compared to what they are in North America. So, for example, Highland Park 12, Lafroig 10. Those are all 40% ABV whiskeys in the UK, whereas they're 43% here. And yet they don't release Glenfarclas 15 here and have it at 46% in the UK. I'm like, I don't quite get it. Like, you would assume they would have a 46% version here and a 40% or 43% there. They don't have it.
White says that it's very, very available. And there's Chris Wren. And he's seen Glenfarclas a bit more expensive than a 105, like 125 instead of 110. Oh, okay. But it's been a while since I've bought Glenfarclas 15 because I'm having more trouble finding it. So I haven't bought any in quite a while.
Yeah.
And Peter White has a Glenfarclas 105 22-year-old that may not agree with you. Oh, really?
22-year-old 105? Wow. I've never had any of those family cask Glenfarclases. And, like, honestly, I had the 10 and the 12. And after that, I was kind of like, or I had the 10, the 12, and the 25. And after that, I was just kind of like, like, they're fine. I mean, I drink it over Aberlour, but.
Oh, yeah.
But as far as the age statement range goes, maybe not the. I'd probably take the Abuna over the 105, but
really,
yeah, I think so. But like, I was never just enamored with Glenfarclas, and then I had the 15, and I was like, oh, what 3% ABV can do?
Oh, and it's a different cask too. It's just a thicker, more viscous whiskey, and it seems to have more of that sherry influence than the 17. I think they use better casks for the 15.
Yeah, that was the thing with the 25. It was like, what
tired casks.
Yeah, they're just tired casks. Because, I mean, a 25-year-old whiskey, especially a sherried whiskey that's selling for $150 USD, like, there's got to be something wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like, that can't be on the up and up. Like, there's a reason that's $150 and not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Christ, you can't even get a Glendronach 18 for that price. Well,
Glendronach, when I actually got the bottle of 18, that was the last bottle I could find. It's not been available around here since then.
Do you see the 15 there?
Never.
Maybe I should get you a sample of the 15. The
15. I've seen the 12, and I've seen the peated.
Yeah.
And I found the peated to be the best of the ones that I've tried.
The 12 is fine. I mean, I don't know. As far as 12 sherry bombs go, it's, for me, on the upper side of things. I actually think the Macallan Sherry Oak is better than that one. If you really but they're like neck and neck.
No, I have to agree with you on that one. The Macallan Sherry Oak is good. It's probably the only Macallan that's worth what you pay for it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, have you ever had the 12? What is it called? The double oak. That is not even close to the sherry. Like,
nowhere near. No, it's half sherry and half bourbon, or it's a mix of sherry and ex-bourbon.
Right,
no, it's nowhere near it.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, I've always said, like, I think Macallan has such an amazing, like, the nose on pretty much any Macallan is fantastic, but it's just not worth the price. I had Telex and I on our Tuesday show, we did a tasting that included the Macallan 18. I mean, I think I put that at like a 275. I was just like, this is a $310 whiskey. Like, first of all, it has shit finish. It's not that much better than the 12. And the fact that people would pay over 300 American dollars for a fucking Macallan 43%, probably chill filtered 18 is insane. I mean, like, there's just so many better bottles you can get. I mean, there's no 18-year-old whiskey from any distillery that even gets close to that price.
That's right.
They can charge it because they can, and it sucks. And it's clear that their quality suffers because of it. I couldn't believe how pedestrian it was given.
Well, they had those fine oak, and
Yeah.
I think I tried a sample of fine oak 17-year-old or some damn thing like that, and really did nothing for me. And the one that I did buy, besides the one that I did buy, I think it was called Gold.
Oh, interesting.
Gold, Sienna, and Ruby, and all of those. I bought the cheapest one, and it was nothing extraordinary.
Yeah.
But the 12-year-old sherry cask, yeah, that hits right on.
Solid. Like, I think it's the only thing worth buying from them, to be honest. And but that's even contingent. Like, that's a $70-some bottle in the US these days. $70 for a 12-year-old. I mean, there are a lot of other 12-year-old whiskeys. I mean, even the Glenrothes is like $10 cheaper than that these days. I don't know. It's got such a great nose. I mean, you can't go wrong with the nose on the Macallan 12. I think it's probably one of the best noses you can find.
Over here, it costs a lot more than in the States.
It's like, if you were going to recommend a Macallan to somebody, that's the way I would go.
That's the one, yeah.
But it would be like, yeah, but there are other options in the price.
Now we're talking. Chris was asking about experience with the number 1 through 6. The
edition series. I have a bottle of the number 6 open right now. It's buried back there a little bit. It's okay. I have not had the edition 1 because the edition 1 was a super limited and is like a $1,500 bottle on secondary market.
Okay, I've had 2, 3, 4, and 5. I can get 6, but I'm going, okay, the other ones were about $150, and now the 6 is $200.
Yeah.
And I can, when it first came out, I couldn't get it. There was only a few at the summer release last year. There was only a few, and now I can get it in the store, but it's $200.
Yeah, no, don't bother.
I don't think it's worth it.
A sample. It's $150 in the States, and that's
still too much.
$40 jack up from the last ones.
Yeah.
If I was going to rank them, I would say this. I have not had the 1.
Okay.
Because, again, I will never have the 1. I would say 4 to 6, 3, 5, or 5, 3. I don't know. The 3 and the 5, I think, are the weakest. The 4 is probably the best, fighting with 2. And the 6.
I'm not really great at ranking, so I will just say that all the ones that I've had, the 2 through 5, were okay, but they didn't blow my doors off.
Yeah.
Nor were they terrible. They were okay.
Yeah.
But I never rank. I just,
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. I mean,
especially if I haven't had them at the same time, I'd have one bottle one year, the next year I'd have the next bottle, the next year I'd have the next bottle, and I never have more than one at a time. So how could I possibly rank them from memory in that?
Well, let me put the question to you this way. If you could buy if you could only get one of the 2, 3, 4, or 5, which one would you buy? You gotta go to the 4, right? Or the 2, right? I don't know. But yeah, if you could only get one, I mean, if I came up to you and I said, Quig, I'll sell you one of these bottles for $100 Canadian or for $50 Canadian, whatever. Which one do you want? Which one would you choose?
You know what I'd have to do? I'd have to go back and look at my videos.
Deuce is on.
Remember what I thought of it.
DJ11 says the 3. Wow. Okay. DJ11's all about the 3. I don't know.
Well, then it's probably not going to be the 3 if I'm going to try it. Because one and I do not agree. So
yeah, I think the 2 and the 4 are the best of the range. The 6 is kind of in the middle. I think the 5's probably the worst. Again, it's not bad. It's just not worth the money. And,
Right.
you know,
I think the best one was the 2.
yeah.
But of the ones that I've tried,
4 though, man. God, the 4. I'm tight between the 2 and the 4.
but I would probably have gone for the classic cut.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's better advice. Don't buy any of them. Just buy a cast strength or close to cast strength. I'm going to pour some of the Macallan 6 just because I'm a glutton for punishment.
Oh yeah.
This is with tax here. This was $158, and I'm like, I can't believe I paid for this that much. This is literally $40 some more than all the other ones were.
Huh.
It's it's almost confusing. There's so much stuff in here about what's going on in it. At the end of the day, it's a fucking Macallan.
Yeah.
As you can see, not exactly drank a whole lot of this, despite it being on my shelf for a couple months.
A couple months, that's pretty good.
It's been a minute.
Where are we with this one?
Is that
the label goes right around. The label goes right around, so you can't see the. Even when I shine it up on the light, I can't see how much is in there because the label covers the whole thing. Oh well.
Are you still drinking the Sexton?
No, I'm on my second dram. I'm on a Turkana.
Oh, nice. What do you got as far as sherry bombs over there?
Sherry bombs?
Yeah. Because I'm about to go. I'm going heavy, man. I'm going Macallan Edition 6.
Oh yeah. I might go.
I'll give him this. At least it's 48.6%.
I've got the Macallan 12 sherry. I've got let's see.
He's got a bunch.
I got some Glenfarclas. I got some Glenrothes. I got some
Glenrothes. What Glenrothes do you have?
Well, I'll show you.
Quig's got some Glenrothes. That's one of those distilleries that I'm still not sure.
I avoided it for a long time. I avoided Glenrothes for a long time because I tried a Glenrothes at a bar one time after having what was it? 15-year-old Tomatin. Tomatin 15, and it was the just as it was becoming unavailable on the shelves, I wanted to get some, and I couldn't get it. So I went and had some at a bar. And the Tomatin 15 was the only one that wasn't sherry. It was just ex-bourbon. And it was beautiful. It was the best Tomatin for me. I didn't like the 12 or the 18 nearly as much as the 15. And I thought, I'll try a Glenrothes. Now, I had the Glenrothes after I had the 15-year-old Tomatin. And I did not like it because it wasn't as good as the Tomatin 15. So Glenrothes, instead of having vintages like Belle Blair did at the same time, they changed their approach and they started putting age statements on it. There's a Glenrothes 12.
Yeah.
I also have this one here, the Whiskey Maker's Cut.
Hey, Quig.
But you know what?
Ourselves a little tasting if you want, because I got one right here too.
Do you? Well, there you go.
I do. And
it's got about the same level as mine as well.
Shall we?
I think that might be a good idea.
I think it might be a good idea too.
However, when I first opened it, when I first opened it, it was unremarkable.
Agreed.
And I thought, oh no, I really messed up by buying this. But then when I tried this, the Glenrothes 12, about 3 weeks after I tried the Whiskey Maker's Cut, it was great from the get-go. Glenrothes 12, Nice.
What's the ABV on the Glenrothes 12?
40.
Interesting.
Can use it as a starter.
That's interesting. I've nenever had it.
In fact, I did a video about it, but I guess it's not gone live yet. Let me check. Check my channel content here.
Yeah.
It has gone live. Glenrothes 12. It went up on February 8th. And it's got 127 views. And I liked it. In fact, I said in the video that it's probably the best 12-year-old 40% alcohol by volume sherry whiskey that I've ever tried.
Okay.
That's what I thought of the 12.
I'm wondering if it's 40% in the US. Honestly, it's one I've never looked at. Okay. This whiskey maker's cut, however, what you said, I totally agree with. My first taste on that was like, it was kind of flat and muted and like not interesting, but I had another dram earlier, and yeah. I also have this. This is a Glenrothes. It's part of this thing called the Exclusive Malt Series. It's a 20-year-old, 54.5% refill sherry hogsheads. And I also don't know what I think about this one. It's not bad, but it's not great. I don't know. Glenrothes is weird. It's like, it's a fully sherry whiskey, much like the Whiskey Maker's Cut, but there's this like leather kind of charcoal thing going on in it that I'm just like not quite sure about yet. So, why don't you want to do a little impromptu tasting of the?
Yeah, sure. Just let me put a few of these bottles away before I trip over them.
Sounds like a good problem to have.
Yeah, this is why I have a bar.
There you go. We're going to do a little impromptu tasting in a few minutes of the Glenrothes Whiskey Maker's Cut. In the meantime, I got to finish this Macallan, which, by the way, is not that bad. It's Macallan 6. It's not worth the price, but it's not a bad whiskey.
Oh.
It's unmistakably Macallan. I'll tell you that much. Unmistakably Macallan. A little young, but it has this really nice kind of vanilla creamy something going on that makes it more complex than a sherry bomb.
Before I pour this guy, I'm gonna get some more water.
Do your thing. I still gotta finish this Macallan. So
yeah. Maybe you can find out what they're saying in the chat.
Yeah, I'm playing catch up here. All right. Glenrothes Select was my first single malt. Said Ben Demon Hunter, interested in the Maker's Cut. Daniel said at Food Cooking Malt Mooser, need to love the bottom, the master distiller Glenrothes Maker's Cut, Golden Motion. Yeah, no, it's really, really good. I paid less than $200 for Port Allen, said Don Holland. What's up, y'all? Yeah, Daniel, I remember seeing this. He just found the Vinho Barrique Cavalan 2016. That is going to be an absolute killer. Hell yeah.
Oh boy.
DJ11 said, I get it. I have a trophy bourbons sitting on my shelf. I'll probably trade them for Japanese whiskey. Yeah, dude, real talk. I got a speaking of trophy bourbons, I just traded in Elijah Craig like batch, like the old bottle of the barrel proof. I sold it for a couple $100. I got a Stag Junior batch 12 here. I'll probably never open this and trade it for scotch. You know how it goes. Guy offered me that in $25 for a bottle of Kilkerran 16. So I was like, yeah, sure. I won't probably drink it though. I totally know I know how it is. The struggle is real. Hey, Quigstir's back.
Yeah. I'm just looking a little bit at the.
Yeah, go ahead and catch up. I got to finish this.
Still waiting on TW to tell me which bottles from BTAC I can get to buy this year, end of February. You know what? If I can't just get it, I don't do lotteries and that. You know, I have to win a lottery to have the privilege to spend too much money on a whiskey. I don't know. So when Roy has the game, it's a space side. When someone asks the question, is it part of the big four? They're asking about Edrington, right? I don't know, Ben. And Don Holland says to Peter White, my memory is much like yours. I go way back and remember the pricing. Wow. I need to have the bill in front of me to see how much I paid. Just switch to a Glenmorangie 12 La Santa. Okay. La Santa.
Yeah, La Santa.
La Santa was probably my least favorite Glenmorangie. I don't know. It just doesn't do it like the Sauternes or the port for me. But that's just my taste. Sherry has to be, I don't know. It's there's a lot of sherry that I don't like. Maybe I'm sensitive to something. Oh yeah, another thing about these Glenrothes, the cork, you have to twist it just like the new Highland Parks. You have to twist the cork like the Glen. It's got a.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me.
Oh, you still going? Okay. No, I'm just going to
Macallan Edition 6. It's.
There we are.
I just wish I could say more good things about it. It's just so. The finish lets you know everything you need to know. Here's the thing about Macallan. They're expert at deception. You nose a Macallan, you're just like, oh my God, it smells so good. Rich. It's perfect. The Macallan noses are perfect. But let me tell you. It just falls off. There's no finish on this to speak of. It's shite. It just, I know I was saying the 6 was in the middle. I'm not sure. I think the 6 might actually be the worst. Like, the 6 is like down with the 5. There's just no fucking finish on this. It's embarrassing. Even at 48.8%, which tells you that they jacked up the alcohol because they're trying to compensate for shit casks, perhaps, or something. I don't know. My first impressions of this were that it was solid, but I'll tell you, and right now, I don't want to drink this. I don't want to drink this whiskey. I want to get rid of this whiskey. And that's all you need to know. Yeah, it's for $150. This is highway robbery. All right, let me wash this glass out and then get some of this Glenrothes. We'll drink a real fucking whiskey.
Last Glenrothes I had was the 1995-2012 vintage. Meh, says Peter White. Yeah, well, we're going to find out about this one real soon because the neck pour was nothing special. Then, of course, I put some in the infinity bottle, my Speyside infinity bottle. And yeah. And now
cheers. What do you think about their bottle? I kind of like their little squat grenade bottles.
Well, I like narrower, taller bottles.
Yeah,
I can get more of them on the bar.
Yeah. I agree with you. That's the paradox. I totally dig the style of this, but I'm also like, I can't, like, it literally takes up the space of 2 bottles.
It's like a grenade.
Yeah. And it comes in like a huge box. Did you get a huge box with it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, the huge box is up on the wall. In fact, the 12-year-old also came in a huge box. They are right up there. Oh, wait. We need a better flashlight. This is the one I use for work. This is so I can see people's addresses. See him right up there, that one? And
Yeah.
right up there. That one and that one. Yeah, huge box. Takes up the space of 3 bottles with that box.
Yeah, yeah, mine's on the floor somewhere.
All right. There, my flashlight is fully charged. It's ready for another week of work.
Well, I'm really excited to be past that fucking Macallan. Let's just be real. I'm actually really bummed. I was hoping that it would be as good as I remembered it the last 2 times, but it's not. It's shite. Don't buy them. It's shit.
This here, Glenrothes Whiskey Maker's Cut.
It's an NAS, but yo, don't let that throw you off. This is
no, it's strong. It's at 48.8%.
Yeah, so is mine. And it's first fill sherry. And I believe it's natural color, but it doesn't say anything about chill filtration, so it might be chill filtered.
And you know what it smells like to me? Glenfarclas 15.
Interesting. So for me, I get an interesting, like the sherry notes clearly run the show here. Dark red fruit, slightly dried red fruit. But I'm telling you, I get some leather. I get some kind of dark oak. A lot of wood in this. There's like a woody, oaky quality, which
like oak
makes me almost think of bourbon, but it's not. It's the leather and the oakiness are really interesting. Even a little brown sugar. But man, this is one of these whiskeys that, like, despite it being an NAS, the nose just evolves. It's decadent.
Oh, it's a great nose.
Yeah. Have you ever had a bourbon ball before, Quig? You know what a bourbon ball is? Like those, they're usually like a kind of Christmas or holiday season treat. It's like a baked thing, like a little bite that you eat, but it's been infused with bourbon. And they're called bourbon balls. Is
it like a cake?
Yeah. It's like a small little cake.
Okay.
That, like, I get so much of that here. It's that rich, kind of very pointed, dark fruit notes.
Yeah. I was getting something cereal as well as the leather.
For sure. And the vanilla.
Yes.
Tons of vanilla. Like the cleanest, like you just bought a bunch of vanilla beans at the goddamn organic grocer. Like that type of vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
It's just damn good.
I think it's opening up. Compared to the neck pour, it's opening up.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. That neck pour didn't do much for me, but boy, this is quite nice right now.
Yeah, it smells nice.
God, it doesn't it? Creamy. It's got a nice creamy smell to it. With some nice spice. Yeah. I'm gonna go in. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Really rich on the arrival.
It's really rich on the nose, but I'm going to have to take a second sip.
Yep. I mean, this has all the hallmarks of just a classic sherry bomb to me. With a little bit more darkness and a little bit of alcohol. Like you can tell the youth on this a little bit, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit of that alcohol thing on the development. But it's not, it isn't bad. It isn't really taking away from anything. I feel like they're trying to balance it with that, again, that oakiness. There's a lot of wood spice in this for me. Nice finish though.
You know what?
This is not a beginner whiskey. This is
No.
like, you know,
I get berries on the finish. I get blackberries, blueberries, that kind of thing.
yeah, for sure. For sure.
But after that nose, the palate is still not doing it justice.
I hear what you're saying. I feel like it's a little hot.
Mm-hmm.
Like the nose implies a nice round richness, but when you get it on the palate, it's like a little bit hotter than you expect, a little bit less full.
Yeah.
But still, like for me at least, I feel like I'm nibbling around the edges. Like I think, the price is the only thing. You know what? This is like a $70, $75 bottle in the U.S. It's like, I don't think it's better than the Glenfarclas 15. But since we can't get the Glenfarclas,
it's not better than the Farclas 15.
Yeah.
No, and it is kind of hot.
A little bit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like this is one of those whiskeys for all first fill sherry. Like you don't really get these kind of leather, dark caramel notes on a lot of first fill sherry whiskeys. Like I'm thinking of the Balvenie or something like that. Like it does have character.
Mm-hmm.
It just, I think the ABV is actually perfect. I think water actually hurt this a little bit for me. I think that 48.8% works great. I just think, it's a little bit, you're thinking about $80.
Now, if this were peated,
there you go. Yeah.
Then you'd have something to balance that sherry.
Yeah.
I find that the sherry is a little bit too much of an overcoat for me, so I'm not getting the distillery character.
I can see what you're saying.
That's why, it's okay, but it's not exactly, as they would say, in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit more bullish on this than you. Like I think this is actually a really solid whiskey for the price. I agree with you that like it does give you a little bit of something to be desired. Like you'd like to see a little more, depth or dark chocolate or something like that.
It is a bit on the shallow side. Yes,
a little bit on the shallow side, but I think in that like $70 range, I'm thinking about like Naked Grouse, which is a all first fill sherry, 43% at like $35. Maybe it's a tick higher price range than it should be, but I do feel like it has a little character. I feel like that leather,
and like we were saying earlier, before we went online, I think we were talking about Naked Grouse.
Yeah.
And for me, Naked Grouse just doesn't do it. There's not enough going on for me to enjoy it.
Right.
And that's the thing, you can give me an Altmore 12. I'll go, Altmore 12. There's not enough there to keep me interested. But you give me a Glengarry 12. Okay, now that's got a lot of character.
Okay, you and I are going to agree on that. Glengarry 12. Are you gravitate more towards the bold flavor side of things? Glengarry 12 is a great example. That was in my top 5 whiskeys of the year in 2018 for good reason. That's a fucking cracker of a whiskey.
I also like the Founders Reserve Glengarry.
Yeah. I
even prefer it to the 12, even though it's a non-aged state. Yes. And then there's the Renaissance. I got the 15, 16, and 17-year-olds. Those are great because you taste something. You can grab onto it and.
Yeah.
I'm not one of these that likes subtlety, and to me, subtlety tastes bland.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm basically with you on this. I think I'm probably I think I might like this a little bit more than you. I mean, for me, this is in that like 3.5, 3.7.5 out of 5 range. Like I do think it has a little bit, it is a lot of, it's like a firework, but then there's not a lot of, there's not much after it. It just blows up and you're like, wow, that's a lot of flavor. And then,
I'm getting everything on the nose still.
Yeah, I mean, I think the nose is definitely the best part.
I'm getting the caramels. I'm getting the toffee. I'm getting everything on the nose. The berries, the dark fruits.
Yeah.
It's all on the nose. And even a hint of chocolate.
And do you pick up any of the are you picking up anything like kind of a leather note or like a molasses or maple syrup even?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
The maple syrup, it's kind of a sweetness.
Right. It's like it doesn't quite jive with what this whiskey is supposed to be, but it's there, and yeah.
I think it adds to it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think it's part of the Glenrothes character, which is.
But where is it on the palate?
Yeah.
It's there on the nose. It's beautiful on the nose. It would be nice to have that on the palate too. On the palate, you're getting, I'd like a little less heat and a little bit more of that caramel, vanilla, toffee.
I mean, yeah, I hear what you're saying. I mean, I'm picking it up a little bit more than maybe you are, but maybe it's sacrificing some. I agree with you about the short mediumness of the finish.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to see more of a finish. I mean, this drops off relatively quickly.
Zoom it. It's just cut right off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the leather, the kind of dark vanilla caramel thing shows up, but it doesn't just quite hang on long enough that you'd want it for. And I don't know how old this whiskey is. I know it's supposed to be like perfectly matched to their distiller's ABV.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those where it's like, if you saw it at 65, I'd say buy it. If you saw it at 85, I'd say pass. You know what I mean? Like, it's like it comes down to that kind of variable.
Okay, we got somebody here by the name of Kel G, a name I've never seen before.
Hey, Kel, how you doing?
He says, hi all. He says, Glenrothes Maker's Cut. It improves with time after opening. That is what I found. It improves quite a bit after 3 to 6 months. At first mediocre, after several months becomes delicious. Okay, well, this has only been open for about a month now. So we're going to have to give it more time and just let it sit there. And it may be one of those that just, what was it that did that? Oh, yes. I had that experience with Oban Little Bay.
Mm-hmm. I think the Oban Little Bay is better than the 14, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but only after it's been open for 6 months.
Yeah.
That
and
Little Bay,
real. At the end of the day,
it was nothing to write home about on the neck pour. And actually halfway down the bottle, and then at some point it had been open for about 6 months, and then I went and said, okay, well, I'm going to have to finish this bottle eventually. I might as well take a stab at it now that it's been there for 6 months. So I opened it and I poured a dram innocently, and I'm nosing it and going, oh, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the same whiskey I had before. And then when I tasted it, it was like, you mentioned fireworks. There was fireworks in my mouth. I'm going,
yeah,
hey,
man.
This is great. And I thought nothing of it up until that point. So this may be another one of those that needs a lot of time.
Right. But who wants to buy a whiskey that needs a lot of time? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel you, and I agree. There are definitely whiskeys that, yes, oxidization in time does wonders to it. But like, if I'm walking into a liquor store, I'm going to spend $75 on a bottle of Glenrothes Whiskey Maker's Cut. I want that shit to pop when I open it. Like, I want to be excited about this whiskey. And, it's middling. It's like, it's there, but it's not. Like, yeah, it may get better in 6 months, but I might not. It's going to get pushed to the back of the shelf, and Lord knows if I'll test it. Like when's the next time I'm going to taste this one? I mean, I think I probably think it's a little bit better than you do, but I also agree that we're kind of in the same ballpark where it's like, yeah, a lot of promise here, but boy, it would be nice if it had a little bit more depth and a better finish.
Oh, the Spirit Safe's here too.
Hey, Spirit Safe, how you doing? Yeah, I don't know. This is one I'm going back and forth on. I think it's going to take a while before I'm like settled on this. I keep going a little bit, one way and the other on this. I got to kind of get my bearings on it.
Well, when you got 100 open bottles, this one can wait.
There you go. Queeg's got a real talk, man. So what we're at, so we're hitting that 2-hour mark, man, which is awesome. And we got 22 people watching.
Still 22. That's not 21, it says here. But that's all right.
Yeah, that's perfect. I was going to ask you, Queeg.
Yeah.
So since the theme of our show was that package that I had sent you, do you want to share with the folks who have just joined us everything that was in it so they can know what to expect on your sample Sundays?
Yeah, the next...
Because we finally, the story was because of COVID, it took me literally like a fucking year to get him a box of samples that I'd promised. And I threw a couple things in there to try to overcompensate for it. And there's a bunch of good stuff.
Yeah, and it's quite a package. I'll spare you the bubble wrap and the foam peanut. But here they are right in front of me. This is going to be good for 12 weeks, like 3 months of Sample Sundays. And they're going to start coming out in the month of March because the videos that are going to go live or go public in February are already uploaded to YouTube, including the Sundays. So this is starting in March. We're going to have
March.
Yeah, in March. The first Sunday in March will be the first one of these. I don't know which one I'll open first. I might do it at random. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
At Mount Muser, at Food Quig, at Ben Demon Hunter, gonna pour a dram of Dark Origins. Yes, good idea, Daniel. I think I'm gonna do the same thing. Dark Origins is. Have you any Dark Origins there, Eric?
I have not. That is one that has eluded me.
That's gonna be my next pour. But here we go with what these are. Old Forester, 57.5%, 1920 Prohibition style.
Hell yeah.
And here we have Lecheg Rioja Cask finish, 46.3%, non-age statement. This was just done by the Whiskey Dictionary, or I just saw a video of his doing the same whiskey. Here is the Larceny Barrel Proof batch A120, 61.6% ABV, and the mash bill is 68% corn, 20% wheat, and 12% malted barley. Next one, Balcones Brimstone. Now, I've only had one Texas whiskey, and it's not this one. And the Texas whiskey I had was an introductory 40% thing called Yellow Rose, which tasted very minty. That's the only Texas.
I'll tell you this: you'll never be able to undrink the Brimstone. Once you have the Brimstone, there's nothing else you'll ever have that's quite like it.
The only Texas whiskey I've ever, Texas whiskey in British Columbia is that Yellow Rose stuff. So this is going to be different.
I'm excited to watch your review of that one.
This is a Talisker Dark Storm. Now, I've had Talisker Storm before, but this is a darker one. I guess, what was it, more charred barrels or something?
Yeah, it's like, right.
45.8%. Here I have New Riff Bottle and Bond Bourbon. Okay, so a straight bourbon. Now, New Riff, I've heard of them. I've seen people do reviews of them on YouTube, but you can't get this stuff here, so this is going to be a treat as well.
Oh yeah.
And here we got Lefroy, 16-year-old, 48% first fill bourbon. Now, I think you described this to me as a UK Amazon only. I heard of this, but you can't.
Yeah, it was some weird Amazon only release. It's all first fill bourbon, 48%. It was a relatively limited release, but yeah, I jumped all over it being a 16-year-old Lefroy with an age statement. So yeah, I'll be curious to hear what you think of that one. Okay. I think it came out late in 2019, or if not early 2021 or 2020.
This one may save me $300. That's a Redbreast 21-year-old. I want to try this. I wanted to try this so much, but every time I went in the store and saw it and looked at the price tag, it's like $300, including taxes. It's like, do I want to spend that kind of money? I will do it for Canadian Club 40-something-year-old, yes, but Irish whiskey, I don't know. I was gonna go for it, but maybe I still will. But it depends what I think of this one. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, 12-year-old, and they're all 12-year-old. Batch B520.
Yeah.
So the 5th month of May of 2020, 63.6%. So this is like a bottle of wow. And here we have Glenmorangie Tale of Cake. You couldn't get this stuff for love nor money unless you were one of the first 3 people in line at the BC Liquor Store Premium Spirits Release 2020. So now I'll get to try it and see what all the hype was about, if there was any hype at all. Maybe they just made such a big deal out of it that, a few people had to get it because it was the main release of the season or some damn thing.
Yeah.
George Dickel Bottled in Bond, 13-year-old, 50%. Yeah, if it's bottled in bond, it's going to be 50% alcohol by volume. This may be interesting, although I have told you that I'm not a big fan of the Lincoln County process and what it does and strips all the flavors away from whiskeys. But I'll give it a try and give it a shot and see what I think of it. Maybe I should taste it blind.
Yeah, there you go.
Then I won't know about the Lincoln County process. And every time I taste something with the Lincoln County process, I think, well, what would this be like without that flavor being stripped away by that maple sugar charcoal? Right. Just my take on it. Because as you know, I'm one of these people who likes big, bold flavors. I like big, bold character flavors. I don't usually go for whiskeys that are just bland. Some people say, oh, but it's subtle. No, it's bland to me anyway. But everyone's different. There are people who like them subtle, and they can't stand the strong stuff that I thrive on. Lefroy, 25-year-old, ex-bourbon, ex-sherry, 48.9%. Was this a travel exclusive as well, or?
No, it was. I think it's the 2016 release. So every year it's a little bit different in what they age it in. Some have sherry, some don't. I think it's 2016 or 2017.
Okay, well, that's the thing. I'll never see this stuff because anything over 18 years, and 18 years old is already pushing it for price. I recently, that is not long ago, found a bottle on the shelf that I have been chasing for 6 years, or looking for 6 years, or wishing to get for 6 years. It's 17 years old. It's a Craigellachie 17.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I fell in love with Craigellachie 13. The 13 is wonderful stuff. And when I was at the Bon Accord in Glasgow with a friend of mine who I don't think he's in tonight, but he goes by the name of First Phil now on YouTube when he's commenting. Or is it First Phil? Or I think it's First Phil, yeah. And he and I were drinking whiskeys, at the Bon Accord in Glasgow. And I wanted so much to get the 17-year-old Craigellachie. They didn't have any. They only had the 13.
They didn't even have the 23, huh?
They didn't have the 23 or the 17. They only had the 13 at the Bon Accord, and this was back in towards the end of February of 2019. But I got the 17-year-old. I got this just a few short weeks ago, and it's 17 years old. And you know what the price was when I came out of there?
I'm going to guess in the 230 range.
Yep. With all the taxes, it was about $230.
I think it'll probably be worth it.
Huh?
It'll probably be worth it.
Yeah, but it's rare that I splurge that much.
Sure.
And it's even rarer that I splurge over 300, but I will do it maybe once or twice a year.
Yep. I'm
For
the same.
the likes of Canadian Club 40-something.
I'm the same way. I rarely will like go over 300 every once in a while. I don't think I've done it in over a year. I think the only one that I've gotten the last year is this one. This is a Deanston. It's a 28-year-old Deanston, 1991, and it's 26 years ex bourbon and 2 years ex Muscat finish. I think this is probably the first time I went over 300 in over a year. Once I crack this, I'll be sure to include it in your next sample package.
Deanston is another one of these distilleries. I love the 12-year-old Deanston.
I got another good Deanston here. 17-year-old organic PX.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Gotta love some PX.
I love the 12-year-old, but the 18 didn't do anything for me.
The 18 was the ex-bourbon one. I didn't love it, but I liked it. The 20-year-old ex Oloroso, which is all Oloroso, that one was stellar. I mean, Deanston's one of those distilleries a lot like Tomatin, like to a lesser extent Glenmorangie, which is like they pride themselves on the finishes. Like they got a finish for everything. Like you think of anything you would expect a whiskey to be finished in, Deanston or Tomatin, you'll find it.
There was a Deanston Virgin Oak too, which was okay, but it tasted a lot like oranges.
There was a Deanston like beer stout, like a stout beer finished one at one point. I like Deanston for the most part. I mean, I think that like you got to kind of pick and choose, a little bit, but I appreciate that they non-chill filter natural color. Like this one is, non-chill natural. It's 48 or 45%, which is, fine for a 28-year-old. Really excited to try it. And the PX one is also fantastic.
And Carlton Weaver's here too.
Carlton.
What was it that I was going to go and taste after this?
I don't know.
Somebody was already saying it, and I thought, oh, yeah, that would be a good idea. Oh, dark oranges. Not dark oranges, but dark oranges.
Dark oranges. Clay's going to show us some of the rare exclusive Vancouver Island dark oranges.
Oh, no. Here we are.
There you go. Oh, you got one. Yeah, I've not had that one yet.
And you know what? It's so good that it's getting low, and I can't see how low it is because of these stupid opaque bottles.
Yeah, you wish they would just put a little strip on the side. So
I would like to see a clear strip, like a can, like an oil can, or an oil bottle. Bottle of motor oil has a clear strip down the side, so you can see how much is in there. I can't see anything here.
I totally agree with you.
Feels like there's not much left, and I wouldn't be surprised because the stuff is good and I enjoy it. This is one of those bottles that I replace or that I would make a repeat purchase of. Definitely.
I'm going to do a dram of Jefferson's Ocean. This is Jefferson's Ocean Cask Strength batch Voyage 10, 56.5%. I really like the Jefferson's Ocean cast strength stuff.
I forget which Jeffersons I had. Let me check. Just take me a moment.
Take your time.
Jefferson's Ocean Voyage 12.
Ah, there you go.
That's the one I had. And the other one I had was a Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, which was not a Voyage. It was just Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey.
Yeah, I really like the cast strength Ocean stuff. I mean, it's overpriced, but if I found this at a stupid deal, it was like $75. And I was like,
now this one here, I don't think was cask strength, the Voyage 12. Huh. But
yeah, regular releases too. Yeah, of the Voyages. I mean, I think it's good whiskey. It's just expensive.
Yeah. You're paying for the story.
Yeah, for sure. Damn good though.
Did you guys get a kind of rubber magic marker nose from Highland Park? Well, let's see.
I think I know what he's saying. The matchsticks, a little bit of that sulfur.
I must be. It's really faint though. I'm not one of these that's sensitive to sulfur. Like there's some people that are very sensitive to sulfur, and I'm not one of them, which is strange because you would think that
you don't pick up the sulfur as much?
No.
Interesting. And the Dark Origins is an NAS, but it's like a ex-sherry, ex-bourbon type situation.
Let's see now. Dark Origins, single malt Scotch whiskey, 46.8%. It's got to be on here. Highland Park Distillery, Kirkwall Orkney. Wait, maybe on the back. Okay, double first fill sherry casks for
oh wow,
naturally darker, richer flavor, and the rest is in French. Pour un goût et une couleur naturelle plus prononcée, Dark Origins est vieilli en majorité dans les fûts de Xérès de premier remplissage, which means first fill. So yeah, okay.
Gotcha.
First fill sherry cask. I'm still finishing the Glenrothes.
Well, you can't go wrong with that Glenrothes, in my opinion.
And if it gets even better, yeah, I'm gonna like it.
I think that Glenrothes is really. I think it opens up, man. I don't know, like it strikes you a little bit like I don't know, not unremarkable at first, but then it starts to get a little something going to it. You know what I mean?
I still like the nose more than the palate, but we're gonna give it some time. We've got enough time.
Definitely. And you're not that far down that bottle, are you?
No, not far. So I can leave that over there. This one goes here. That one goes there. Yep. Here's my bar. And here we are. You know what? Now I'm getting the magic marker. I wasn't getting it before. But yeah, it's a magic marker acetone thing.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
No, I don't think so either. Do you have any Highland Parks that you particularly like or dislike? It's like, you've asked me the best question.
I have had some of these Viking ones.
Yeah.
And of the Valkyrie, Valknut, Valfather series, those three, I like the Valknut. That's the middle one. But the Valkyrie and the Valfather, nah, they don't do it so much for me.
And the Valfather was supposed to be like their most heavily peated, right?
I don't know. I just don't. It just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
I would rather drink the Magnus, which is their entry level.
Yeah.
And of course,
that's one. Yeah.
And of course, the 12-year-old for sure. What else have I got from them? Oh, I do have some Twisted Tattoo.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, have you had that 16 Rioja cask? Which is the twisted one?
Is it a 16 Rioja cask?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's 16.
Huh. Let's see. Yeah. Yes, I do have some. I don't know what the level is.
I think that's really good.
About here.
I think that's one of the better Highland Parks, to be honest with you.
It's not as good as the Dark Origins, in my opinion.
Yeah, I got to try that Dark Origins. I got to get it.
If you can find it, I recommend it. That's probably my favorite Highland Park.
Yeah.
And it's been discontinued. It's just that there are a couple of shops here in town that still have some. And that's probably because nobody who goes in there knows what it is.
Yeah, I got to try that.
Oh,
I never find it. I've honestly had a hard time finding it. People have been telling me about that one for a while now, and I've just not been able to get my hands on it.
It's probably hard to find most places, but it's just got a beautiful balance of that first fill sherry and just enough peat to balance it and make it interesting. This is the way to go.
That I'm interested in. I'm definitely interested in that.
Debt is fun. No, it's not. I'm still paying for the premium spirits release from November. I only go into debt if it's like a lot of whiskey I'm buying, once or twice a year when they have a special release, and I just got to try a lot of them. But the rest of the time, I try to pay off the debt in between. And I was thinking, I was at the liquor store yesterday to get some Wild Turkey 101 because I'm thinking of doing a video of whiskeys that I repeat purchase. And I bought that one, and I bought a bottom shelf scotch that I've never had, just so that I have something to start a flight with when I'm making videos. And I saw a 17-year-old Bladnoch. And
the
$70. And I thought, oh gosh, I do want that, but can't do it today. Maybe next week. And if I do it, it's going to be on a credit card. Because in these times, I don't know if I'm going to have a shitty week and not make any money. So I gotta watch the finances very carefully. And then there was another bottle. There was a cask strength Port Skeg, and right next to it a Port Escaig 12-year-old, which was one of my best whiskeys from last year.
And that's one of those. It's like a blended. I don't. What is the Port Escaig thing? Like they?
No, it's a single malt.
It is okay.
But it's a non-distillery. It's a non-distillery statement.
Got it.
So it doesn't say which distillery it is, but because it's Port Escaig, it's pretty sure that it's probably Kalila.
Or Kalila, yeah, okay.
Because Kalila is in Port Escaig.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
But it could also be, it doesn't say. It's a non-distillery statement whiskey, so it could be something else. It could be a Bunnahabhain. It could be a Bruichladdich, and could be a Kilchoman even. But I doubt it.
Yeah, you're right. It's probably Kalila, right? I mean, given Kalila is the most blended of all those Islay Scotches,
Well, Kalila produces the most whiskey on Islay. And they're more willing. They make enough production that they can, lose a few casks to an independent bottler here and there.
Sure.
And they can sell them off. If you go down to Lafroig or Ardbeg, they don't have any surplus. They're bottling everything for themselves.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. I've not had any of. I know that they have that 100 proof Port Escaig, and then I think I'd seen maybe a 10-year-old, and it was a couple years back, but I didn't know that they had a 12-year-old on. But I've heard decent things about it. And
somebody in the chat had an 8-year-old earlier on.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I've never had the 8-year-old. I've had the 12-year-old, and that's it. But I'm looking at the cask strength and another 12 because I want to try the 12 again. And it could have been my whiskey of the year, but I didn't have any left to compare it to everything else, so I couldn't really. I was here with an empty bottle of Port.
Yeah. All right, Quig. I'm about to hit my limit here, so I'm going to sign off and leave you to your devices. But,
fair enough. I've probably had enough too. I've got a few videos to catch up on.
It's been fun hanging out, man. And again, enjoy those samples. COVID and all of that got in the way, but I'm glad that they arrived safe and sound, and look forward to seeing your thoughts on those over the coming weeks in March and April.
April, and probably May. Well, I thank you very much for getting these to me, and I will probably put some things together for you as well, since you're saying you want to send me another installment. Well,
yes, I'd love to.
I will definitely put something together that's open on my bar. Can get you some of those JP Weiser's expressions.
That sounds great, man.
And some of the whiskeys from this year's or from November's Premium Spirits release. We're talking about Lot 40, Stranahan's, JP Weiser's, Canadian Club, 43-year-old. Things like that.
Oh, yeah.
And I might still have some. You had the 41. I could send you the 42, which I prefer to the 41.
I'm not going to say no to that.
And is that you making noises, or is it me? Or is it somebody sending me messages?
I'm not sure.
Oh, it's probably. Don Holland says, good stream. Thank you very much. We've just been having fun hanging out. And 2.5 hours, yeah, that's pretty good. I'd say we've done all right. I got to have my dinner yet.
Yeah. I would suggest you go and do that, my friend. And let's catch up again soon, brother.
Absolutely. This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. We had a great chat. And The
You
quick
enjoy the rest of your evening, man, and yeah, I'll let's connect again, and I'll get you some more samples. And looking forward to seeing your videos.
Yep, and I'll get some things together for you as time goes on, and as I
Before everybody signs off, take a second, hit the thumbs up, give us the like on the page.
Do we have any likes at all?
Probably a few.
I can't tell from here.
Give us a like before you leave. Hope everybody.
I can't tell from here because we're on StreamYard rather than.
yeah. All right, brother. I'll catch you soon, man. Thank you. Cheers.
Oh, you're welcome. Have yourself a good night there, Eric.
Thank you, brother.
Been a pleasure once again.
Always.
Okay.